All right, welcome back. Thank you guys for bearing with the double stream situation. Bearing with the double stream situation. I forgot to mute that. Anyway. Thank you guys for bearing with the double stream situation and also my technological incompetence. But we're good now. Everything is okay. And yeah. I guess we'll just get right into it. Yeah, so we're going into FAV Gaming versus Fennel. Definitely really interested to see how this goes. Fennel is a very strong team, but they, as far as I know, okay, they probably have a sub laying around somewhere, but they only have one hunter, who is Hasha, who is very, very good. Hasha is a very good hunter, but he's also the only hunter that Fennel has. As far as I know. Again, they probably have a backup somewhere, but we've only ever seen Hasha, so I'm interested to see how that goes with a best of 5 match. But regardless, we're gonna get into it. In terms of the hunter situation on FAV Gaming, Chicken is their first round and has actually been past the first round hunter. Chicken has been hunting more and more. And he's crazy. Kruger is their other hunter. Yep, there's Chicken going to be coming in here for round 1. Which is, you know, normal normal situation here. We're definitely going to be looking at an opera singer. So I'm not going to attempt to predict any sort of hunter situation, but we will be on Leo's memory. Which is, I mean, it's definitely one of the maps that can counter an opera singer. So that does give Fennel a little bit of an advantage here as they are the survivors. And we will be locking in Gardener and Coordinator coming out first. Seer and Antiquarian as well as Lawyer are banned first. And we will be getting our third pick in shortly. Seer and Antiquarian banned first is a little bit interesting. I wouldn't really expect Fennel to lock in a Seer or an Antiquarian as their first picks because this is best of 5. But I guess keeping them off the table is a good thing. But we're going to see the Patient come in here. Mercenary will be banned. I wonder if we'll see an Aeroplanist. Patient definitely fills that niche, so they don't really need another. They could definitely deal with Patient as a rescuer. Oh, okay, never mind. We are going to go with the Aeroplanist. I guess that does work. Yeah, banning the Mercenary and getting the 2 kind of imitation mercenaries in return. I would have been interested to see a Psychologist here, but Psychologist isn't really good against opera singers, so I definitely understand why they didn't go with the Psychologist. But yeah, I mean, having the Coordinator and the Gardener locked out first isn't terrible, but I feel like they may have been able to go with the Lure, but also there's so much versatility with team comps nowadays that it really doesn't matter who your first 2 bans are, or who your first 2 picks are that will be subsequently banned because there are replacements and substitutes for them. Interestingly, though, we didn't actually see a Gardener pick earlier in the previous stream with AWG versus RC. So, yeah, this is actually the first Gardener of today. So, yeah, hello. We've been seeing a lot of Charles, a lot of Aeroplanist today. He has been kind of, if he's not banned, he's been picked. It's been very interesting. And I didn't really expect it, but I honestly, I respect it and I understand it because, he is very strong. And, oh! We're in round 1, right? We are in round 1. Okay. I mean, okay, to be fair, I have been saying kind of this entire time that I think more hunters should actually play their mains first and then still keep the opera singer on the table, pressure the team into banning, their main and then allowing the opera singer out, etc., playing like that. I didn't expect this, honestly. But Chicken is a very, very good Dream Witch. I was kind of holding that. Really, really funny, the time that I actually do say, oh, it's going to be an opera singer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But Chicken is a very scary opera singer, and I think that that's something that I'm happy that they're taking advantage of that. Because he's absolutely crazy. There was, I think it was I think it was FAV versus Axis Wave. sometime in the round robin stage that Chicken pulled off an absolutely insane Dream Witch play. Like, that match was crazy. So I am always very excited to see Chicken Dream Witch. Really was not expecting round 1, and I feel like Dream Witch might actually struggle a little bit against this comp. Because you do have the Patient, you do have the Aeroplanist, both of whom are very, very good at breaking distance. And Dream Witch, it's not easy to really catch up. I guess Patroller being in play can definitely help with that, but Gardener is also a counter. I do enjoy the Broadcaster pick as a skin. It does get a little bit tiring to have constant Tomie, but anyway, we are going to get right into it. Unexpected round 1 Dream Witch. I feel like I'm not watching this year's tournament. I feel like I'm watching some other year, but yeah, Dream Witch round 1. No opera singer to be seen yet. We're going to have Kit be our first target here as the Patient, so stalling a little bit until that Patroller is active. It does look like we aren't going to use those hooks just yet, just trying to bank on the pallets and work on rotating into the factory. So we're going to just drop that pallet, get as much containment as possible. I mean, this is a really, really strong area and not very fun for a Dream Witch. And we haven't seen that Patroller come out yet, but the Leech is running behind where the Patient is. It does look like he might be waiting to hook away from the stairs, and yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. Beautiful, beautiful work there. Just breaking as much distance as possible away from the Dream Witch, because again, it's very hard for a Dream Witch to catch up. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of just tenacity. Obviously the Leech is there, but you don't really want to get the Leech hit because then you're going to lose the Survivor entirely. It does look like Chicken's actually getting a little bit turned around here, going to head towards the Gardener. But already we're seeing 4 ciphers have been started. One of them is nearly primed. I think it is the Gardener. But we're going to see the Patroller come through as the Leech approaches. So we are coming towards possibly our first hit, but Gardener does still have a bubble to work with, as well as Patroller, though. So I don't think she's going to be able to get that bubble up in time. Yeah, we're going to just use the Patroller to get that first hit in. But already, we have all 5 ciphers have been started. This cipher rush is very, very strong and very, very scary. So really not a great situation here for Chicken. There can be, there can be a lot of cipher pressure later in the game. We are looking at a Dream Witch. We are looking at the map pressure of a Dream Witch, even on a map like Leo's Memory, which it's good for Dream Witch, but it's not great for Dream Witch. But nice work using the Leech to get the coordinator there. But yeah, it's really just so much decoding is happening here. We have another 2 new ciphers have been started. Every cipher on this map has progress on it right now, which is honestly kind of impressive of FL to extend that far. It looks like a Hermit match. It really does. But yeah, just absolutely insane cipher pressure here. Really, really strong. And there is the gun from coordinator. Yeah, having this team comp, and also with just the communication from Fennel, we're going to have our first down here, but already we're basically at 2 ciphers remaining. We have 2 of the 6 ciphers that have been started. Well, okay, now we're at 3 ciphers remaining, but we have 92%, 84%. We're basically at 1 cipher remaining, quite honestly. And Chicken is a very good Dream Witch, but this is not a winning, or this is barely a draw situation if Chicken is able to somehow push it that far, but it's not going to be easy. This is very, very much a win situation for FL, especially, well, no, because Aeroplanist does have Tide Turner. If Aeroplanist is able to make it to the chair is the problem. Aeroplanist very much might get stuffed here. So if Aeroplanist isn't able to make it to the chair, it won't be Tide Turner yet. This is kind of why I was saying Psychologist. Psychologist would have been a good pick if they had been expecting the Dream Witch. But they weren't expecting the Dream Witch. They were expecting the Opera Singer because, they're normal and weren't expecting Chicken to be crazy. But I feel like this pick is really not working out here because this is still a very strong anti-Dream Witch comp, as well as 0 decoding debuffs on the entire team. If anything, there's only decoding, there's the 2% decoding increase from the airplanes. We are going to get a hit in on the Gardener here, but already we are looking at a primed Cypher. Coordinator has not quite taken up yet, but we are going to get a rescue in there. I think that was actually reached with the, Oh, wait, Coordinator didn't have borrowed time. That's a little bit unfortunate there, that Coordinator didn't have borrowed time. Oh, well. Well, I guess it is, it's still, like, very much a 3-man elimination, or a 3-man escape, my bad. Yeah, 3-man escape scenario here. Chicken is heading towards that gate very, very quickly. It does actually look like, Unpi's leech, might make it to the gate in time, but oh, we actually did! We got Unpi, but he is in the open gate. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it in time. Chicken still has to focus on sharing 1 OP. I think Unpi is just able to crawl out there. That would have been so close if Chicken was just a little bit closer to the gate, but because it was a leech as well, that did happen to, you know, hit the survivor that it was leeched to. That is very, very unfortunate, and so close as well. But yeah, that is kind of the risk of going with your main. I feel like the Dreamwitch pick was probably to throw off Fennel when it came to like, because they were obviously preparing for a Dreamwitch. Everybody would be preparing for a Dreamwitch. Or, my bad, everyone would be preparing for an Opera Singer. The issue with preparing for an Opera Singer is that she is similar to Dreamwitch, except she's like a faster Dreamwitch with less map control, but she still has that map control, so it's, you know, like, in terms of being a single hit hunter with kind of a small hitbox, who is very vulnerable to, or who can be very vulnerable to survivors that take multiple hits, and with the only counters here being, you know, the Aeroplanist and the Patient, who can both break distance very effectively, as well as the Coordinator, who is just, you know, in general, a good container. The issue being that these are all very solid Dreamwitch counters. It would have been better to go with the Opera Singer, at least at this point, because now they don't even have to ban Dreamwitch. They could... Fennel next round can very, very calmly ban the Opera Singer, have the Opera Singer completely off the table, and just deal with the Dreamwitch again, because they've already, you know, proven that they know how to kite and counter a Dreamwitch. But yeah, very, very good start there for Fennel. And we will take it into the second half with that's going to be FAV survivors and Hasha hunting, which again, I am very, very curious as to how Hasha's hunting is going to go, because he is very good. It's just the problem is that he's the only hunter on Fennel, at least that we've seen so far. They might be holding like another hunter in reserve. I honestly don't know. But yeah, it's very, playing a best of 5 with one hunter, it makes it, that's very scary. That's very, like, not a position you really want to be in, but we will be getting into it here. I would expect an Opera Singer. But then again, I don't know, maybe Hasha will go Dreamwitch. Hasha's also a Dreamwitch main. So we could definitely see that Dreamwitch coming out here, but again, you know, it's basically the same picks and the same counters. It's just that Opera Singer is a stronger hunter than Dreamwitch, especially with the, you know, state of the meta, state of the game as it is, Cypher Rush, etc., etc. But, and on a map like Leo's Memory, it's a much harder for a Dreamwitch to navigate than an Opera Singer, because Dreamwitch has to keep all of her leeches in line, while Opera Singer just has to, you know, dash forever. But yeah, we will be seeing the Mercenary and the Antiquarian banned first, and they're really thinking about this one, aren't they? I feel like maybe... Oh! Okay, so FAV is actually getting a little bit, bold here, going for that Seer pick. It's definitely interesting. I feel like with the Seer pick, that does kind of solidify Hasha going Opera Singer and not, you know, anything else, if he had ever considered that in the first place. But yeah, Seer is definitely still a good counter to Opera Singer. The thing is that Opera Singer is so much faster than a Dreamwitch, or than, you know, the Dreamwitch leeches, obviously. But Opera Singer is so much faster that, you know, hitting the owl doesn't really matter. And yep, there is our second Aeroplanus. A very, very popular pick coming up here. I definitely think we are looking at like Aeroplanus meta, because the thing is, really anybody can be meta at this point in the game. Like, anybody can be meta. We've seen basically every single survivor has been picked at least once. What I do hope for, actually, from Aeroplanus meta is more Aeroplanus skins. It's never a guarantee, that a character becoming meta will give them skins. First officer! But, you can hope. One can hope. Yeah, I definitely hope that we get more, it's better than blonde. But if, oh my goodness, what was I saying? If anything, I do want at least more just Charles cosmetics in general, because if you didn't get the S tier when it released, which is because it's time limited, it doesn't even show up in the showroom. It's literally just default in warm clothes because he didn't get a shop B tier because he wasn't Essence. So yeah, it's very sad. It's very, very sad. I hope so, but also Keegan got a limited shop skin, so I'm not sure. And yeah, we are going to go with the opera singer here. No Dream Witch is to be found yet. I would definitely anticipate a Dream Witch coming up because obviously FAV Gaming is going to have to ban the opera singer. Most likely. Most definitely. But yeah. I would say we will probably be. Was it? Oh yeah, I guess it was. But I don't know. I feel like Lucino doesn't have like the worst skin distribution, because he does have 2 Essence A tiers, which is 1 more Essence A tier than First Officer has, I think, off my head. Well, other than Koa, but like unlockable stuff. You know what I mean? Also, they're both good, which is something that we can't say about First Officer. My apologies if there are any Basil lovers in the chat. I like the herb. I don't like the man. But I'm getting very off topic here. So, we will be getting into the spawns here, as well as the match. So I would say probably, it's not going to be an easy first chase, but maybe Seer would be a good first chase here. You do have the owl to deal with, as well as the fact that forward is kind of in that area, but yeah. We are actually, looks like we are planning to have Felix take that first chase here. We do have Flywheel as well as Broken Windows. No borrowed time on that Seer. Everybody else does have borrowed time. It's very interesting to see which teams are kind of leaning into that like crazy no borrowed time kind of deal. And then the teams that are kind of playing it a little safer. But I do enjoy seeing the no borrowed time. I know that a lot of us are big fans of the no borrowed time builds. But yeah, it's always very fun. So we are going to see that Seer taking the first chase here. We are going to see that Broken Windows activated almost immediately, just making as much distance as possible. We are in a very strong kiting area with the factory, so there should definitely be a lot of potential for a long containment here. But it looks like we're actually going to rotate away over into the pallets that are in this corner here. Which is a little bit of an interesting decision. I feel like Felix can definitely have a lot of room to play. Oh, and a little bit of a misjudged teleport there, and Felix has activated the owl. Not entirely sure why that happened. I think maybe he got scared at the teleport animation, but that's a little bit unfortunate. Asha is going to go into cooldown here, which is also a little bit unfortunate. Not able to have that dash for the grand total of 8 seconds. But we are going to have a beautiful blink come into play here, and Felix is going to go down. Not a terrible first chase here. We do have basically 1 cipher decoded. The other 2 ciphers are lagging a little bit behind, but not too drastically. Again, we do have a forward on the team, so that does kind of cut decoding down by a good bit. And yeah, that's true. having the teleport. But I feel like at the maybe, I don't know. The seer is not doing a lot of seeing, but we are going to get a very clean rescue there. Just, basic hit, keep on going. But Felix, unfortunately not able to have that flywheel out in time, is going to immediately take another hit. But it looks like he is heading towards Nerisu on that forward. Maybe a little bit. Nerisu is hard at work decoding. Doesn't look like he's moving into position just yet, but it looks like he might be getting ready to come in for this rescue. He does have Tide Turner, and can definitely come for this, is obviously at full health as well. It's a little bit unfortunate that his Cypher wasn't quite done yet, and we are actually going to use the ball there. Unfortunately, really kind of not getting through that pallet, and getting caught during the stun, but it is going to be a rescue. Oh, and just mistiming that flywheel, as well as just getting the lucky edge, of Opera Singer's hitbox. That was very, very well played there by Hasha. And Seer is going to be returning to the manor very shortly. We have 4 ciphers remaining, with basically 3 ciphers remaining. But I mean, all of the ciphers do have very good progress on them. It's just a matter of not having the forward finishing all of them, because forward is a very, very slow decoder. But Aeroplanus does decode 2% faster. Patient doesn't have any decoding debuffs, so they can definitely get these last 3 ciphers done very quickly. But it looks like they're actually going to start a new cipher. Just a little bit interesting. I guess it was probably closer than rotating to one of the ones that was already started. But Aeroplanus is going to take this next chase. So that would probably be why, because they don't want to backtrack over to the Aeroplanus cipher, where Hasha is very much there. And, not quite able to get that jetpack off in time. I'm not sure if Dacho still has the hover. I don't think it's showing up here. But, yeah, that would have been very good to use in that time, as well as maybe using the jetpack anyway. But, yeah, that's just a little bit unfortunate there. And not, obviously I think that people are still going to be learning the ropes of the Aeroplanist, even if he's been out in the game for a while. He hasn't been meta. Or at least, the Aeroplanist situation is a situation. But yeah, beautiful rescue there right before half. Is going to be able to waste a lot of time like that. And a nice flywheel as well. Unfortunately, just going to get hit right through that pallet there with, Opera Singer hitbox. Very, very good at going directly through pallets. And yeah, again, in case you missed the earlier stream, we are working with post-nerf Opera Singer. We're also working with post-adjustment Seer and Mercenary. So that is something to keep in mind. It honestly hasn't really been affecting the way these matches have gone. Even the Mercenary nerf, while it's definitely, it's noticeable, but, Mercenary can still take 3 hits. It's not as detrimental as it probably would be. I mean, obviously, if we end up in a situation where the Mercenary needs to get to the dungeon or the exit gate and gets hit, that will definitely affect it. Yeah, the one time we did see the Merc nerf coming into play, it did help, because it would have been a bad Merc Cypher pop if he hadn't already taken damage. But anyway, we do have 1 Cypher remaining here, but the problem is going to be getting back to it to decode, because looks like Yog has actually gotten back to one of them. Nerisu just playing around that pallet, trying to waste as much time as possible. But Hasha knows that that cipher was shaking and is just heading right in that direction. You can do this with an Opera Singer because she's so fast. With absolutely no cooldowns, she's just going to infinitely dash over. And again, yeah, this is a post-nerf Opera Singer. She operates exactly the same way as pre-nerf Opera Singer, except her movement speed and her hitbox are slightly slower. We're not really seeing that make any difference in her gameplay, though, because she still has infinite dash and no cooldowns. So, it is what it is. Beautiful use of the just pressuring that pallet. We do have that cipher nearly primed. Of course, it is a forward, but we do have accelerated decoding, so we can definitely pop it. Okay, yeah, we are going to pop it just to get Yog back up off the ground. Okay, wait, no, the self-heal was already utilized there. So that's, would have been stuck on the ground if Nerisu had not been able to pop that cipher. So that was very, very good here. We can definitely look at a solo escape. I think that that's definitely something that FAV can pull off. It obviously won't be the 3-man escape that they needed to tie, but it's definitely something. A beautiful flywheel there and a beautiful vault as well, just avoiding that hit as much as possible. No more items left to utilize though, so Patient will be going down very shortly. Okay, there we go. We do have Teleport up, but Narisu is already out the gate, so that is a secured 1-man escape, which is better than a 4-man elimination. It's not a draw, it's not a win, but that is much better than allowing a 4-man elimination. So very, very well played there by FAV Gaming. Not making as much of a deficit here in the first round. It's definitely still, you know, they are starting at, I believe, a 4-point deficit, so that's 6-2. But it's not terrible. It could definitely be a lot worse of a start here. And once again, you know, we did see AWG at a very significant disadvantage throughout, like, the first 3 rounds of their match. So anything can happen. Anything can turn around. It is not over until somebody wins. And that is always true, but that is even more true for best of 5 because you have more chances to kind of make up for previous rounds' mistakes, which is always very fun. And I enjoy when finals are best of 5. I was a little bit sad that Checkmate wasn't, but that was because people had other responsibilities. But it was a little bit unfortunate, but it's fine. We're going to get into the first half of round 2. Looks like we're going to excuse me. Looks like we're going to be on Sacred Heart Hospital here, with Hasha hunting first and Fav surviving. Our global bans here are Seer and Patient, and it looks like we're going to ban the Priestess and the Barmaid, so I would definitely expect a Dream Witch here. Hasha is, again, a Dream Witch main. Wouldn't be surprised to see her coming out here. Oh, they're actually going to ban the Dream Witch and opt to deal with the Opera Singer again? That's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't know if that was a good decision. Hasha is a very scary Dream Witch, but it looks like they are just going to go full Opera Singer counter here with the Game 9 comp, Magician and the Explorer. We're going to ban the Antiquarian and bring out the Acrobat. So really going with an aggressive, or semi-aggressive, anti-Opera Singer comp with that, with the Acrobat. I almost wonder if I don't know. Acrobat's an interesting choice because he is very good, but I don't know if he's like specifically anti Opera Singer. Magician definitely is. Magician is very much a anti Opera Singer, but really, you know, just very good. In general, when countering single hit hunters, because I was wondering a little bit, maybe they're trying to also counter Hasha's Bloody Queen. But Bloody Queen's not... Well, I mean, she's okay on Sacred Heart Hospital, but she's not great. I would definitely... but Opera Singer... I mean, there's no hunter that's really good on Sacred Heart Hospital, because it is Sacred Heart Hospital. We could maybe see a Naiad, but that also wouldn't be great. Naiad would be good against an Explorer, though. But is also very risky to take. Pretty much on any map, but especially on Sacred Heart. You can kind of water off the kiting areas, but it's a very hard situation to be in here. I would definitely be concerned. Okay, we are going to go with the Opera Singer here, which is not a bad choice. Again, Opera Singer can struggle on Sacred Heart Hospital, but because she's just such a strong hunter in general, all you have to do is just force, like, because she counters tight kiting. So as soon as you complete, like, one loop around the ruins area, she's already got a decoy there. She just teleports back and bang, you're done. Like, there's no way that you can really get around the fact that Opera Singer is, like, the best hunter that we have. And I don't know. I feel like, yes, Hasha is a scary Dream Witch. Hasha is a very, very good and very, very scary Dream Witch, but I feel like banning the Opera Singer here... Because the thing is that you can turn around a Dream Witch. You can absolutely, like, just make a Dream Witch miserable. You can't really make an Opera Singer miserable. I mean, you can, but when it's a good Opera Singer like Hasha who knows what he's doing, it's just, I don't know. I feel like this was a risk. I don't know if it's going to pay off, but I definitely feel like it's going to be a little bit of a risk. Other Dream Witch. It's just very... Because you know, in turn, that, Chicken's not going to be able to play Dream Witch. and Opera Singer is going to be banned. And especially on this map, Dream Witch is okay on Sacred Heart, but it's such a survivor-sided map, and she's countered by Tight Kiting that it's very, very difficult for her. So I feel like banning the Dream Witch was just not the move here. But okay, we're going Peepers Opera Singer. Looks like we're bringing Tide Turner on both the Explorer and the First Officer. Definitely understandable. As long as Explorer doesn't take the first chase, then it's pretty much safe to have him bring Tide. He's a very good late game kind of stealth rescuer. And we've got Broken Windows on both the Acrobat and the Magician, so pretty solid. Heading into round 2, first half, we've got FL in the lead versus FAV Gaming. So it looks like we are actually going to kind of see the Explorer here, but not quite. Walking right by the Explorer, are we going to be able to see him? He's in that grass there. Yes, we are going to be able to get the first hit on him. Very, very well done by Hasha. And a little bit of panicking there from Yog, I would say. Getting a little bit tripped up there with the book and the controls of it. But that is going to be not too consequential here. But we've already got this loop established. I don't think... Okay, we do have a few decoys up, but it's not nearly the amount of decoys that you get later in the game as Opera Singer. So we are a little bit safer. But yeah, we do have Peepers in play, and that is going to be a decoy over on the other side of the palette. Yog really was in between a rock and a hard place there, had to take that vault, and it was unfortunately spelling his death. So he will be seeing the chair here. Not great cipher progress. Again, this is really, why did you not ban the Opera Singer? Because we are barely halfway through our first 3 ciphers, and we already have our first down with the Explorer, who hasn't been able to get any pages either. If anything, I would say maybe they should sell, but it looks like we are not going to be selling here. We've got Goro Akechi coming in for the rescue. Will probably be well before half here. But I feel like maybe in this scenario we probably should have sold. But oh, that's really unfortunate. They're going for the rescue there. I think Dacho might have thought that that Hasha had hit the chair. That unfortunately was not the case, and Yog is immediately going to take a hit off of chair and a second hit in order just to get as much presence as possible here for Hasha. Get to that max presence. Yog is going to go down before we're able to get that third hit on there, but that's just very, very unfortunate start here. We've got 3 ciphers remaining, with 2 of them being vaguely started, and one of them is about halfway through, the other one has just been touched. So yeah, it's really not the most ideal situation to be in if you are FAV Gaming. I am still questioning, and I think I will forever question the Dream Witch ban here, instead of the Opera Singer. But yeah, First Officer coming in for second rescue here does not have Tide Turner utilized, so needs to be very careful with how this rescue is done. Oh, right at the last second there, we are going to get that rescue off. Dacho is going to take a hit this time, and Yog is going to go down once again. That's very unfortunate. What's that palette just not in play? Anyway, looks like we are actually going to get a little bit greedy here. Nice palette stun as well from Dacho. Kind of, revenge for trying to get that extra hit in. Very, very nicely done. Unfortunately, Yog is going to be sent back to the manor here. That is going to be 1 Tide Turner lost. As well as, the thing is that he hadn't actually gotten to dig for any pages. So it's really just, it's kind of just a lost cause there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but yeah. We are going to see a bit of a target change here over to, it looks like Felix might be taking the next kite, and we're already at 1 cipher remaining, so that's actually very good, kind of stealth cipher rush, I would say. That last cipher is at 17% only, so it will take a minute to kind of finish it. We are actually going to start another new cipher. We're definitely looking at a tie situation here, which is kind of the thing with playing Hunter in this economy, in this state of the game. But Yeah, it is what it is here. Nice work kind of trapping the magician there. Didn't quite have decoys back up again, so that was very nicely done. That final cipher is passing about 50%. Asha does still have peepers, so that's a little bit unfortunate there. Oh, and that is the shortened hitbox in play. Not quite being able to reach the magician. But oh, and we're missing again, but Felix is going to get knocked out of that final decoy. And the last cipher, though, it is passing 80%. That is 100% going to be primed by the time we get this rescue off. But Asha going into the basement here. As long as Felix doesn't struggle free, this might actually go better than was planned. But Narisu taking a hit in on the way down. And a nice firebomb as well. Hasha not going to be able to dash out of the basement. This is very, very good. And Narisu is going to take the hit. So we do have detention in play. So it's not too consequential that Felix is at full health. And it looks like we are just going to commit to the magician as a target here. So, yep, immediately going down there, not having any chance to get to that pallet. A little bit unfortunate there. That is going to be a second chair, though, so we do still have time to possibly go in for a rescue. It would be a little bit risky, especially since First Officer doesn't have any pocket watches to really make that happen, as well as no tide turner. But Hasha has spotted him out. That's going to be very risky here. We do have the other exit gate being opened, but I don't think Dasha would actually be able to make it over there very smoothly. So a little bit risky here. Dungeon is also all the way across the map. Dacho is going to go in for the rescue. Unfortunately, is going to get down right in front of the chair. This is going to be another solo escape, which is not a 4-man elimination, so it could be worse. Unfortunately, that is still going to be a loss, and I think for the rest of my life, I am going to be questioning the decision to ban Dream Witch. Because, yeah, you would know, wouldn't you? It's No Man Left Behind. But I understand the psychology of banning the Dream Witch. Because round 2, Asha's probably going to play the Dream Witch. But the problem is, Hasha's probably going to play the Dream Witch when Opera Singer is banned. So it just doesn't really compute for me, honestly. I don't know. It was a strange decision. It really, I don't think it paid off, unless Chicken is able to get a 4-man, or if they bring Kruger out, then they bring Kruger out. But if Chicken's able to get a 4-man elimination here, maybe it'll pay off. But I'm gonna pull up the scoreboard here just for kicks. But yeah, we are looking at a 6-point lead coming into the second half. Obviously, that's not going to stay. Or it could get worse depending on the off chance that there is a 4 escape. But it looks like we're actually... Okay, that's weird. They're taking a break there. Something probably happened. Bathroom break. But it's cool. There's my timestamp. More or less. I do enjoy that. I like when they have silly... Excuse me. I like when they have silly little signs. But, yeah, it's just a little bit... It's a little bit disappointing, I think, to have started off round 2 like that. I feel like in defense of the first officer, he was kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place because he was trying to get to that gate, and then Magician happened to run the same way, and obviously got downed, and then you have the chair that's directly there, Hasha patrolling the area. There's really no way out of that area without being inevitably seen by Hasha, so it definitely could have been better if the first officer wasn't there in the first place. But I feel like he just kind of felt the pressure to go for that rescue, because there was no other way out. Yeah, it was just a little bit, it was an unfortunate direction for the magician to run, and then an unfortunate place for the first officer to get stuck in. But either way, I feel like it just wasn't... It just wasn't great. It just wasn't a great situation. But it's okay. That was last match. And we're going to be heading into the second half of round 2 here. And hopefully Chicken is able to close at least some of that gap. I mean, ideally, 4-man elimination here. That's like best case scenario. 4-man elimination. You're still a point behind, but it's better. Like you're still a point behind, but you win the round. With a 4-man elimination. So if possible, like that is what Chicken needs to be aiming for. And we are actually seeing that there with the Embalmer ban, really right away looking to get as few escapes as possible. But that does leave Priestess open. Okay, we're not going to go with Priestess yet. We will be we will be picking the Psychologist and the Dancer, which are also very, very strong picks here, especially if we might be looking at the opera or at the Dream Witch. We have banned the Opera Singer, obviously. Even if that wasn't picked here, again, respecting the Opera Singer, or not really respecting the Opera Singer. I feel like it's more, you have to ban the Opera Singer. We're going to ban the Seer out here, and pick the Mercenary in return. Again, this is post-nerf Mercenary, but if we are looking at a Dream Witch, Mercenary is still very, very good against Dream Witch. Because of the elbow pads, as well as just being able to take multiple hits. But this is a very good Dream Machine. We've left Priestess on the table. Okay, we're going to pick Cheerleader, which is almost worse, I feel like, in terms of, from the Hunter perspective. I feel like, leaving both the Priestess and the Cheerleader on the table and getting the Cheerleader instead of the Priestess, I would honestly rather a Priestess at that point, because at the very least, Cheerleader does have a bigger decoding debuff, but you also you can't chase her. You can't chase her. This is not FAV's day. It's not. It's really, really not. It's a very, very bulky team. It's a very aggressive team. Unp is a very good dancer. Mercenary, obviously, you can't chase. Psychologist, you can chase, but she takes 3 hits to get down. And Cheerleader is Cheerleader. That's really all I have to say about that. My Cheerleader thoughts are this. Okay, we are going to go with the Guard 26. I forgot that Chicken does have a Guard 26. Guard 26 is not actually bad on Sacred Heart. So Kit and Kat used to be, God. Ray is going to hate me for forgetting their names. But they're intentionally matching, on purpose. But yeah. I think, did one of them used to be on Zeta? I think so. I'm completely blanking on this, and again, Ray is going to kill me later, but for forgetting the Kit Kat lore. But yeah, we are seeing Guard 26 spawn up at the shack area here. Yeah, really between a rock and a hard place, and the rock is Dancer, and the hard place is Cheerleader. Cheerleader spawning out in the open there, knowing full well that she can do whatever the hell she wants with that speed boost. Yeah, my Cheerleader thoughts are, I'm glad that she's in tournament now, because I hope it leads to a nerf. Because she's kind of just ridiculous. Dancer, I think, is the best first chase here, especially against a Guard 26. You can counter that tight kiting. It's not going to be easy, but it can work. It might, maybe a little bit, sort of, it'll work a little, hopefully. But you can't chase the Cheerleader. You really can't chase the Cheerleader. Interesting that okay, well, no, I do get if they were looking at a Dream Witch or at a Guard 26, picking the Flywheel here and not the, not Broken Windows definitely makes sense. Broken Windows Cheerleader is broken. But Cheerleader, Antiquarian did get nerfed though. And she's also not broken. Or not nearly as broken as Cheerleader. You can chase an Antiquarian is the difference. You can't, and because her stick is exhaustible, I think the biggest nerf to Antiquarian is that she can only stun about 6 times. And then it's gone. So there's a lot less freedom there. Cheerleader infinitely recharges, can also support teammates, can pick teammates back up, which is huge. And it doesn't really take a lot of effort to do that. You just have to, Cheerleader is literally just like you tap some buttons and you're fine. Like, there is not a worry in the world. yeah, Antiquarian does have to be very precise, very close range as well. There's a much higher difficulty curve with her. She is still very strong, but it's not it's not the same kind of situation here. But we are getting into this first chase here. OMP has exhausted 2 boxes here, does still have 1 remaining. And we've also used this pallet here, so that OMP is going to have to transition over to the next pallet. Is going to place that box there right away, and Chicken is just going to break it. So OMP is now out of boxes here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But you know, just extending the first kite as long as possible here is definitely what OMP wants. We do have Blink in play, but this is already a very, very long first containment here. First 3 ciphers are already well past half. We're really just looking to get the chip in. Oh, okay, the second chip in. Beautiful flywheel, though. And we're going to miss that hit there. Is OMP going to be able to make it to the pallet? No. Beautiful use of just the edge of the Guard 26's, hitbox, and OMP will be going down. But that is basically a 3 cipher kite there. Very nicely done. A little bit of a long chair there. It's a little bit scary, but yeah. And the thing with Cheerleader as well is that she resets cooldowns, which means that she so like characters like Forward, Batter, Cowboy, basically any character that's just like, okay, if I wait long enough, like they will try to go for the stun and then I can just fake it out and I don't have to worry about it. Like Forwards, you know, using the ball to try and bait out excitement or just to get the drop, etc. Cowboy missing the lasso. She can reset that cooldown and allow for more harassment. That's the thing with Cheerleader that I think is a little bit underutilized, at least like outside of tournament. We've definitely been seeing it here a little bit. There haven't been a lot of matches where the Cheerleader is on the same team as a harasser, or a harasser like Forward, Cowboy, etc. But we have seen her be used with Perfumer. I'm definitely excited to see like the Cheerleader combinations that we can get, but again, I'm like, please nerf. She's but she can also just passively support is the thing. Because she has like the stacks that can be used for speed boosts and picking up. I need to stop talking about Cheerleader and more talking about what's happening in the match. OMP has taken off, and we are going to see the Psychologist take this chase. Beautiful chain bombs there. Unfortunately, it's just not quite going to go through. We do still have Flywheel to utilize. I think, is it just 1 chip that's getting eaten by the yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so Cat only has 1 chip going, or it was a basic hit and a chip. Yeah, basic hit and a chip, which is still going to just leave, you know, 1 chip because it is a Psychologist. And Chicken is going to change targets here over to Kit, who is the Cheerleader. We do have a chip hit on Cheerleader, so maybe this won't be so bad. But we do have full stacks of the dash as well as the cooldown reset. But a beautiful chain bomb there. Very nicely done. Cheerleader is going to be at half health, and we're going to see our first dash coming out. Cheerleader is going to be slowed down for just a second after the dash, but with the amount of distance that she's already been able to pull, really doesn't matter here. Unfortunately, just not quite going to work. But we're going to switch over to teleport over to the Psychologist. We already have our last 2 ciphers are nearly finished. That cipher is practically primed. It's just a matter of whether or not Kit's going to be able to make it back there, or Cat, whoever takes this next chase. But that cipher is primed, pretty much. It'll take like, you know, half a tap to get it primed, but it's essentially primed. As long as Chicken's able to pressure it, I think this might be able to be, well, I mean, it is kind of a draw situation as it is. I think that flywheel was just a little bit mistimed there, a little bit unfortunate here for Kit. But, and a nice pallet stun as well. That cipher is now primed, and they are just going to pop it in that tail end of that pallet stun. Really looking for, I would say, the 3-man escape here. If they're able to get the draw, I mean, yeah, it's not. Chicken needs a 3-man elimination here just to tie. and we are looking at a draw situation. Teleport is not up. We also don't have Blink. And the dungeon is a little, well, it's not close, but dealing with a cheerleader, oh my god, is she just going to be able to run to the gate? Is she just going to be able to run to the gate? Okay, we are going to get that. Chips. Nope, she's just going to run straight out the gate. I think we need to nerf the cheerleader. Like, I guess there are other characters that could do things similar to that situationally. Like, you have a forward that has full ball at the end of the match. You can, run over to the gate. If you are a mercenary or a patient, you could hook to the gate, toy merchant, etc. But the thing is that all of those skills are exhaustible. Toy merchant only gets 2 catapults and they can be broken. Aeroplanist only has 3 jetpacks. Little girl can teleport, but not if she's being chased. So in that situation, if she was the final chase, then it wouldn't, she wouldn't have been able to leave. But yeah, that's I feel like even if there wasn't the patience there, though, she did have 2 stacks as well as the cooldown reset. So she absolutely could have just dashed straight to the gate. She just took her time with it. It's just cheerleader. Because that's the thing. It's like if you have, say, 3 hooks, 3 jetpacks, 3 elbow pads. Cheerleader has infinite dash. Yes, she only gets 2 at a time, but they recharge. It's like magnets. I don't know how exactly long it takes to recharge. I don't play cheerleader, admittedly, but it does recharge, and that's the thing. It's an infinite skill. It's like Professor, where you just continually get the item. And honestly, I feel like Professor's a little bit broken. Professor's not broken enough for me to have a legitimate issue. It's the state of the meta. Always fun, and by fun I mean agonizing and kind of terrible. End of the day, I feel like the biggest issue is Cypher Rush. The second biggest issue is introducing busted survivors. I feel like we're in kind of a frog in boiling water situation with the meta, because it's like when Professor dropped, I was like, this is crazy. This is insane. Why are we why don't we get presents from the scales? And then after Professor, it was Journalist, who gets a speed boost as well as no presents from the babies. But again, at least Journalist is actually exhaustible because she only has 3 babies. Well, 4 if you count the rescue one, but that's only if there's a chair nearby. It's just literally frog in boiling water, because every time there's a new survivor that releases and has this weird broken skill, it's like, oh my god, that's broken. And then it's like, okay, I guess this is manageable. Okay, I guess this is manageable. Okay, I guess this is manageable. And then eventually you end up with cheerleader. Okay, I need to stop complaining and continue commentating. But the thing is that hunters get nerfed for it. Survivors get added to tournament for it. I actually do wonder if Novelist is allowed, actually. I said actually twice, but I do wonder if Novelist is allowed, because he did get reworked. In a way that could be tournament viable, but I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen one because his rework wasn't great, but Anyway, we're going to ban the Priestess, Toy Merchant, and the Antiquarian. We are on Chinatown, so that makes a lot of sense. And immediately we are going to lock in that Entomologist, because we are looking at possibly a clown, I would say. It is Chinatown. Clown is very, very good on Chinatown, very, very scary on Chinatown. So Entomologist immediately being locked in there. We have seen FL have a very strong Entomologist against Jokers before. So I would not be surprised to see that happening again if Chicken decides... Is that a fish? Okay, yep. Anyway, that was a fish. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was trying to swim. And we are going to see another aeroplane is coming out. It's so much fun. It really is so much fun to see the new characters being played so often. I enjoy it. I very much enjoy it. But and yeah, we are seeing the cheerleader band come through. Um Yeah, it kind of it did feel that way a little bit. Like the jump cut to a freak alien. And then in this case it's a fish. But I do appreciate the chicken. If you caught my earlier stream, you've already heard my Night Watch tirade, but for the sake of if anybody didn't or has not caught a stream before, I'm going to go through it again. Night Watch is no longer good. Night Watch is not the TIE Hunter people want him to be. He just isn't. He was nerfed horrifically before IJL started, and we have seen, before IVL started, we've seen IVL, Dongsheng got 4-manned playing Night Watch. It was either 4-man or 3-man, but either way, Dongsheng got absolutely destroyed as Night Watch in IVL, well, at least once. Like, yeah, exactly. Going Night Watch with an acrobat who can just ball immediately out of the radius of the wind, aeroplanist who can do the exact same thing, entomologist who is just fast and also has insane harassment capabilities, and mercenary is just mercenary. I mean, it's always just mercenary. But I feel like aeroplanist as well also has the hover pushback that could definitely get in the way of Night Watch. Like, it's just yeah, you can yank her out of her bees, which is kind of the so like she's not a great kiter at that point. But as long as, I mean, the thing is that we are on Chinatown, and Chinatown is both very good and very bad for hunters because it has a lot of open areas, but the issue is that, especially for Night Watch, it's kind of the same issue as, okay, at the very least, we do have detention. That makes me a little bit happy, but yeah, the thing with Night Watch on Chinatown is kind of the same issue that Wax Artist has on Chinatown, because in theory he's very good. And the issue that Night Watch has kind of over Wax Artist on Chinatown is that Wax Artist still has a pretty decent range on the wax. Night Watch doesn't have decent range on the wind anymore. It's very, very close range, and they nerfed it. So having like you kind of just end up with like getting stuck behind a building. We're about to see it here with Umpi ducking behind that wall there. You can't reach him with the wind. Yeah, a tie is absolutely going to be the best outcome. And thank you for first time chatting, Vinsoup. Nice to see you. Hopefully you are enjoying the stream, etc. I am very worried at this point in time because yeah, a tie is absolutely the best outcome here, and yeah, we really do not want a tie is the thing, because if it were to be a tie, we would still be if I'm remembering 6 points behind for FAV gaming, which is not wonderful. Well, I mean, unless, you know, if FAV survivors are crazy. Beautiful blink there, though, and a nice terror shock as well. Definitely a lot of Cypher progress here, though, so it is what it is. We're probably still looking at a tie situation, especially because, again, it is Night Watch. But that was very nicely done. Yeah, it's just not... Going Night Watch in general is just such a risk. And especially against this comp. It's basically a 3 Cypher kite here, and we're starting another Cypher as well. What FL does is they are so good at just spreading out their Cyphers and having this, like, deceptive Cypher rush, because, like, right now, it's like, oh, we're at 5 Cyphers remaining, but then you look at the numbers, we have basically 3 Cyphers are popped, and the other 2 have been started already. It's very fun to watch, because, you know, 1 second it'll be 4 Cyphers remaining, the next second it'll be 1. But yeah, Umpi is going to take a hit on the way out there. We do still have another jetpack for that second chair. But yeah, it's It is what it is. It's very, it's not a good situation. I feel like if I feel like they should just, I don't know, because Nightwatch. I feel like when we're in the state that Bloody Queen is better than Nightwatch, Nightwatch needs a nerf. Because Bloody Queen is better than Nightwatch right now. And yeah, that is the mercenary nerf in play, but of course we are still going to be able to get that rescue even if Umpi has been downed here, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would have definitely liked to see that jetpack come in handy, and I think he may have still had the hover too, so that's really unfortunate to be dying with, but it is what it is. We do have 3 ciphers remaining, but again, FL is very good at that Deceptive Cipher Rush. We have our last 2 ciphers over halfway completed. So that is going to be pretty easy for them to come back from, and it does look like we might intercept Acrobat coming in for this rescue. But, okay, we have gotten the location of dungeons, so that is definitely going to be good heading into the end game, just to keep in mind and just to have on hand. Nice pallet drop there. Very, very good. Not getting sucked back into the wind. I don't think Cat's really going to be able to make it to Mono P, though. At least on time. But with the dash here, nice bomb. Being able to just make it all the way up those stairs. But it's very, very dangerous here. Yeah, with no flywheel, that was not a great drop to take, honestly. Yeah, I feel like that there was definitely a big misstep there. They were able to get Mono P off chair, which is good. But with the Acrobat's containment, they haven't quite made it back to that 69% cipher yet. The tide could be changing here in Chicken's favor. Maybe. The main thing here, though, is continuing that they have not been able to get back to that cipher. All the cipher progress in the world does not matter if you just can't decode it. Nice flywheel there, though. Very, very good flywheel. Blink is still on cooldown, and beautiful work with that pallet there. Kit is going to be chaired. The thing here is, though, that we're kind of playing musical chairs right now. Oh, but the basement is here. If Chicken opts to use it, that would be very, very good here. Just to either delay the rescue as long as possible or deter them from rescuing entirely. We have gotten Mono P back to full health, so he can rescue a lot more comfortably than he would otherwise. But it really is just, I think Cat is on the way back to that final cipher, but it's been a lot of time. We're passing about 5.5 minutes into the match here, which honestly isn't that long. It just feels long. But we're going to continue decoding the cipher that had about 10% on it, leaving that 69% cipher behind. Mono P is going to have to take a lot of time going in for this rescue. Doesn't have any items to utilize, so no elbow pads to really get into the basement. And with the mercenary nerf, it is going to be a little bit harder to basement rescue here because you do have to be mindful of that delayed damage. Nightwatch has a pretty fast attack recovery. I'm not sure if there's Berserker. Okay, no, there is Berserker in play here, so the attack recovery is even faster than it would be otherwise. Okay, so we weren't able to get the double hit in on Mono P, but either way, it's really not the best situation here. Cypher's not quite primed yet. Mono P blocking off that exit, though, very nicely done. But I feel like Chicken doesn't really have to worry about that. Yeah, if we just go around, get the Entomologist before it's primed. Oh, nicely done with that fall hit. Entomologist is going to go back on that chair. Is Mono P going to take the extra hit? Mono P is going to take the extra hit. That's a little bit unfortunate there. Will not be able to tank a detention hit with that. I guess there wasn't really a choice, but being at half health here, we could actually see a 3-man elimination here, which is what FAV kind of needs. Coming into this round at least. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a 3-man elimination unless, okay, we are going to leave. Acrobat is the only one available left to decode the gate, so that is going to be quite a bit of time for Chicken to comfortably search for him, but I feel like we might want to go ahead and chair Mono P, even if it does mean sacrificing the 4-man, just because we don't want this to turn into a draw. Because it's very possible for this to turn into a draw. It does look like, okay, so that is a little bit of an issue here. We are going to see the dungeon is going to open, but Cat does have, I don't think any bombs remaining, doesn't have flywheel, does have crows. So we have been able to spot out the acrobat here. It's really just going to be a matter of time. We have 48 seconds left in detention. We could definitely maybe see this dungeon escape go through, but we do have Blink as well. Yeah, that is actually going to be a 4-man elimination here. Absolutely incredible. I'm sorry. Well, no. It was FL miscommunication, I think, that really kind of put that match in the bag. I would be sorry for doubting Chicken, except that I'm not budging on my Night Watch's bad stance. But I do feel like maybe the Night Watch pick did kind of have FL underestimate Chicken and get a little bit cockier there. But yeah, it is just a little bit unfortunate that they did allow that 4-man escape to happen. But in the same vein, very, very good for FL to kind of get those points back on the board. We're going to take a look at the scoreboard here. I don't think it fully closed the gap. Okay, yeah, we are looking at 12-9, so FAV survivors do need to still... If FAV survivors if they're able to get a perfect round here, which I don't think that's going to be possible, but if they were able to get a perfect round here, that would be very, very good for FAV. Best case scenario, I would say within the realm of like realism, they're able to at least win the round, and get, because right now we're looking at, well, okay, because of the 4-man elimination, we're automatically looking at round 4, because right now the matches are solid 2-0. The best case scenario for FL in this round is to end with a tie, or even to end with a loss, but still have, I mean, they'll still have the point advantage unless they allow a 4-man escape, which I don't think Hasha would do. But I mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen, and I don't want to speak too soon. But we are going to get into the second half of round 3. Hello, little Tiger Eli. Oh, and there's a Norton there too, I guess. We're going to ban out the Priestess and the Antiquarian out first, and Dream Witch and Opera Singer are banned. Thank you for banning Opera Singer this time. We're going to choose the Barmaid and the Coordinator. I do wonder, well, because they banned Dream Witch, so... Hasha does have a Naiad, but I don't think that would come out here, but I don't think they would, I don't think they would pick Barmaid against a Naiad. That feels a little risky. We are going to see Prospector coming out here once again, and yeah, Naiad is pretty easily kited, but she's still been a pretty solid tie hunter, especially, we've seen her quite a few times on Chinatown being able to get ties. As long as Hasha is able to tie, they're pretty safe. And we're going to see Wildling coming out as well. Yeah, I guess with, well, they could have brought out the, no, Patient was locked, Mercenary was locked. They could have brought out Aeroplanus, but I guess they're probably not comfortable with him yet. Which is a little bit unfortunate. I feel like Aeroplanus probably would have been a better choice than Wildling, just in terms of Cypher Rush. But we have seen, Wildling get, you know, his mileage in this tournament season. First Officer wasn't banned though, and they did go with Wildling. Oh, okay, so we're going, Barmaid's a little bit risky against a Geisha, honestly. It's kind of a two-way street there with the countering and counter. But it really does depend on, I guess, good Devlin usage. But because Geisha does have the dash, it's a lot harder to break distance for a Barmaid. But yeah, it's a little bit risky there. But also Barmaid can be very, very good against a Geisha for the same reason. If she's able to get the Devlin off, she will take 3 hits. We are going to see Barmaid... Okay, yeah, Barmaid is going to spawn near the hotel area. Hotel loop would definitely be very good for a Barmaid. Okay, well, we're actually going to lock off the hotel loop in the first place and go for the go for the hotel spawn there. So I would say maybe barmaid first chase. We definitely want to stay away from the hotel loop. That is like a death trap for hunters. In the same case, FAV is definitely going to want to encourage that hotel loop, but because of the spawns here, I feel like they probably should have put barmaid in the hotel and not allowed Hasha to spawn there, but yeah. I guess it is a little bit of a risky, it's a bit of a risky spawn anyway, because Wildling is very out of the way here. Prospector spawning in the middle is interesting. Wildling, generally rescuers spawn in the middle, but I guess Prospector coming in to assist the kite, if it's, because it could be Coordinator, it could always be Coordinator. But yeah, it's very, it's very, situational here. Hello, welcome. We are on round 3, second half of FAV versus FL. FL has 2 rounds under their belt, and the best that this round can be is a win for FAV Gaming. Either way, we are going to head into round 4, but it's been pretty fast-paced, honestly. Been very, very quick matches, but yeah, we are heading right into it. Very, very nice skin choice here from Hasha. I do love the Nymph Awards from last year. I'm honestly not that big of a fan of the Nymph Awards this year, if I'm being completely honest, but that's just my 2 cents. Maybe the songs will change my mind, but yeah. Anyway, it does look like Coordinator is going to be our first chase here, with the gun coming out right away. I do think Hasha has no, wait, I don't think that's Blink. Is that Excitement? Oh, Hasha did bring Excitement, but it was still on cooldown when the gun was activated. That's a little bit unfortunate. I would say probably will be used for the Prospector later on, but yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, as we're seeing here, we have returned to this hotel loop, which is really just not good for Hasha here. Very, very good for Fav, though. It does look like we're going to use the butterfly as a little bit of a sort of blink. But of course we don't have blink to work with here. We are working with Excitement, so not great. A little bit of an overshoot on that butterfly as well. Appai doing a really good containment here. Lots of time wasted here for Hasha, and just getting stuck in this loop. Unfortunately, just vaulting that pallet a little bit early. Very unfortunate there. And we will be seeing our first share right in front of the basement as well. That is not great. And yeah, on the note of Nymph Ward skins, I feel like the Wuchang skin needs, I don't like the eyes, first of all. I really don't like the eyes. I feel like the model will probably look better than the art, so I'm just kind of waiting for that, but I don't like the haircut and I don't like the eyes. On the Naiad skin, I wish she wasn't white again. I miss her being blue. Because they keep giving her, like, I mean, Rosemary was good, but she keeps being, like, skin colored, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish they went weirder, but, I mean, she's pretty. It's a pretty skin, but I know Rosemary's purple. That's why I said I like Rosemary. But, $1 Million Mermaid scares me a little bit, because she has actual human legs, and they're way too long. Anyway, we are going to see a little bit of an escape from basement. Unfortunately, not quite going to go according to plan there. Appai is going to go down once again, and we do have our last 3 ciphers started, but they're not, I mean, they could probably push it. The thing is that Wildling is decoding, which is never really a situation you want to be in. It looks like Barmaid is coming for this rescue. Didn't quite get the instant Dovlin off the chair, which is a little bit unfortunate. Oh wait, no, she can't because it's a coordinator. Coordinator's not able to, coordinator is too young to drink, according to the game. But that's a little bit unfortunate. Nice flywheel though. And yeah, unfortunately, Barmaid not quite able to body block there, and that will be Coordinator's return to the manor. Honestly, I mean, we're probably still looking at a draw here, which is what Hasha needs. To tie the round here. Hasha needs a 4-man elimination. A draw is still safe though, because it doesn't really affect the point differential. But yeah, because FL has such like a comical lead right now, really any outcome here that isn't like a legitimate win for FAV Gaming is good for FL. As long as Hasha doesn't allow like a 3-man escape. Well, I mean, even a 3-man escape would still not give enough points, because their FAV right now is 4 points behind. 4 points and 2 rounds behind. So really, if FL wins round 4, it's over. No matter what. Oh, that was a little bit of a misjudged butterfly. Or that was very much a misjudged butterfly, expecting Yog to go further into the restaurant, only to not do that. So that was a little bit of a misjudgment here, but that cipher is moving really slowly. I think it is Wildling who's decoding that, so that would be why. Just a little bit unfortunate. Oh no, wait, no, that is Prospector decoding, my bad. Wildling is actually trying to harass here a little bit. Beautiful pallet stun though. We're definitely going to be heading into a 3-man endgame, so a draw is very, very possible here for 5 survivors, but it is just a little bit, they are at such a disadvantage here unless they're able to win the next 2 rounds, or unless they're able to win the next 3 rounds, I think. Then yeah, it's not gonna pan out for them very well. But again, anything could happen. I did not expect Chicken to get a 4-man elimination, and yet here we are. So really, it is anybody's game still. A beautiful Terror Shock though, but this is going to be a draw for FL and for FAV, I guess, because it is a draw, 2 points to each team. That does still leave that 4-point differential though. So not super ideal for FAV via points, but they did still win the round, so they can still bring it back. We did just see AWG bring it back around after winning and drawing the first 2 rounds, or losing and drawing the first 2 rounds, my bad. So again, it is possible. Anything is possible. I keep saying that, but it's true. It's always up in the air. There's never, you can never really say for sure when the match is called until it's done and gone. Yeah, that was why I think Embalmer was banned first. Or Embalmer was definitely on that ban's list, if I'm remembering, because Embalmer is very, very good at getting those solo escapes. But even then though, did Hasha? I don't remember Hasha's build. I think Hasha had trump card though. With teleport, that could definitely have been countered, especially in endgame, because Embalmer doesn't get the shield. Anyway, we are going to head into round 4 here. We've got Barmaid, Coordinator, Magician, Explorer, Seer, and Patient banned, as well as Mercenary and Antiquarian being banned coming into this round. And we're going to get our Hunter bans in as well. We're banning the Bloody Queen, Opera Singer, and the Dream Witch, obviously, because this is, Hasha territory. Hasha is a very strong Dream Witch main. I would definitely be interested to see if the Geisha comes back out again, because Geisha is very good on Lakeside. So I guess Bloody Queen is also very good on Lakeside, so I get that ban, and they did just draw against Geisha, so they can definitely, take her. But it does look like they might be banking a little bit on a Clown. I think Hasha has a Clown, if I'm remembering. But Aeroplanist ban as well, really trying to get those distance breakers out of here, but we are going to lock in the Toy Merchant as well as the Entomologist, and the Acrobat, and our first officer, just to round things off and have a dedicated rescue. A little bit safer, I would say, than the Wildling, especially because Wildling has such bad decoding. And we do have... First officer starts with bad decoding, but he does gain 7% decoding every time he uses the pocket watch, so it does get better after the beginning. Could definitely be much worse, but we will see. I would definitely say Geisha... Smiley Face would be safe here, even with the entomologist. The entomologist is definitely scary for a clown. But Hasha could take that risk. We could also see a Naiad. I don't want to say Night Watch, but we could see a Night Watch. Possibly even a Breaking Wheel. But yeah, Hasha has a very deep hunter pool. It's why FL only has one hunter. Because again, this is 4 rounds of Hasha being the only hunter for FL. Every other team, I think, okay, we are going to see the clown. We haven't seen a clown in a very long time. Usually when there is a clown main involved, he's either incredibly counter-comped or just banned outright. So it's been quite a minute since we've seen a clown. But yeah, against the entomologist, I'm a little bit worried about that one, because entomologist hard counters clown. There's very few like hard survivor counters. Usually it's just the survivors are good. But entomologist does hard counter clown. So that's Toy Merchant isn't as much. Toy Merchant isn't as much of a threat. We have seen that's an interesting spawn. Okay, it looks like we are, well, I guess it's a little bit in character. We are hard targeting the the acrobat. Yeah, I feel like Fav was looking for that center spawn, but yeah, that's true. He did want to block the cipher. That is smart. Locking that cipher, but yeah, that's that is a very funny corner spawn point. But yeah, it's definitely dangerous because Entomologist is in a position where she can get the bees over to Acrobat very quickly. It's such a risk bringing out the clown against the Entomologist. It really is. That's very scary. That's very, very scary. But yeah, we are going to see... Ooh, not a lot of Flywheel on this team. That's a little bit interesting. Flywheel is also a hard counter to Clown, because it kind of works the same as the Bees. It just eats the dash. But Toy Merchant is the only member of the team that is carrying Flywheel. The rest of the team has broken windows, except for First Officer, who has, tied, obviously. But this is the 4th round of FAV Gaming versus Fennel. And if Fennel wins this round, then they will win the everything, because they have 2 rounds under their belt already. They just need to win one more to get best 3 out of 5. So it's looking pretty good for them, I will say. Hasha is going to set the tone here for the second half of the round, but we will get right into it here. It looks like we are getting a little bit turned around here with the rotation, looking for anyone. But we may have found the First Officer. Yep, we are going to be able to see that pallet drop, and this is going to be our first chase. The accessory, I think, it's the burning card one. I think it might be, no, it's not custom carry. I know I've seen it before. I think it's in the shop. Anyway, yeah, a lot of wasted time here. But we will just have to see. Oh, I think it's supposed to match the king. Yeah, Entomologist wants the chase. Entomologist wiggling because she wants the chase very, very badly. Getting on the Entomologist here is really not a great plan. We're trying to bait out the blink, but it's not going to work here. But blink is going to be blink is going to be activated there and works very nicely. And we will see those bees coming out to play here. Already, it does look like Hasha might be changing targets here over to the First Officer's Cipher. We do have, I believe this is the Infinite Dash going, and the Pocket Watch is activated, so that is going to trip Hasha up quite a bit. And the bees coming in to disrupt the dash. That is going to be at least 2 ciphers before we're able to get our first basic hit on our second hit. We do have Insolence here, so we are at Presence, but it did take Insolence to get the second half. Nice work there, getting the First Officer, but yeah, this is going to not be great. We already have 2 of our last 3 ciphers started. There is the final cipher, being started right as I'm saying that, but it's really just not a great situation. Very good rotations here from FAV, but we are going to get that Terror Shock in on the first officer that is going to bring us to full presence. So we could be bringing this back around. There's definitely a lot of slug pressure endgame things that Hasha can do, but if we're able to get the tie here, I think FL may end up banking on their survivor side to try and get the win in this round. But yeah, as long as Hasha gets a draw, they can definitely do that and just bank on a 3-man escape. But we are looking for a stuffed rescue here. If we're able to stuff the rescue, then, well, we aren't going to stuff the rescue, in fact, but we are going to get a hit in immediately on the first officer. With no tide turn, he will be going down almost immediately. But we do have a lot of Cypher progress on the field right now. We have about those last 3 Cyphers, over halfway done. The real issue here, though, and something that can definitely come back to bite FAV Gaming, is that there is a lot of Cypher progress. The issue is getting to all of those Cyphers, because the Cyphers are very spread out on Lakeside, but it does look like Toy Merchant is going to be the one heading in for this rescue. Are we going to... Oh, and the stream is lagging. Okay, we are going to get the basic hit in there. Unfortunately, I don't think we're close enough to really get that dash effective. And the flywheel coming into play. Nicely done by Felix. And that is going to be a down, unfortunately. But there's the thing. There's the thing. We are not seeing... Okay, they've just returned to that final Cypher. I think with 2 of them on it, they might actually be able to pop it. By the time... Okay, yeah, they are actually going to be able to pop it here. By the time Apai is chaired. But yeah, this is looking like a draw situation, which is a little bit unfortunate for FL. Probably looking for something stronger, but, you know, it is what it is. We are just going to blink right through there, and Toy Merchant is going to go down. So that is going to be a draw, unless they decide to sweat here. Because they could definitely try and wait it out. I mean, they don't have tide, though. They don't have tide. It's much safer to just take the draw. Yeah, I do wonder if they will be bringing Kruger out. I guess we'll have to see. But a draw is definitely safe. And I think that's the main thing here. The draw is safe. A win would have been good, but a draw is still a draw. As long as the survivors are able to either tie. If they tie, then it goes to round 5. But it's still not allowing any more points into to FAV's favor. And if the survivors are able to win, then it is a win for FL. I think it'll probably show the win conditions here in a second. Yeah, it'll show the score and then it'll show the win conditions. But if I'm not wrong, then anything greater than a tie. Okay, so there's a 3-point difference here. I was wrong about the 4 points. Okay, yeah. If it's a 3-man escape or a 4-man escape, then FL is going to win. And it will not go to round 5. And it looks like we are bringing out Kruger here, which I'm admittedly a little bit worried about. Kruger has been kind of not consistent. There's been some mistakes made. But yeah, I don't know why Ento wasn't banned. I guess maybe trying to like psychological warfare their survivors into maybe not having a clown. But even without the entomologist, the rotation there in the early game was absolutely incredible. It really wasn't a great spawn either, getting stuck in the corner like that. Like, it did lock off the Toy Merchant Cypher, but even then, Kruger does have the best hair in the tournament. It's non-negotiable. But Kruger is going to be retiring after Call of the Abyss. I do think that he's going to stay around through Koa for FAV, but he is going to be retiring after, which is sad. I think he also is very new, but it is, it does just, it sucks to play Hunter in this, with the game being the way it is. So it's unfortunate. I hope he comes back at some point. But I definitely get quitting like now because it's It sucks. But we are going to ban the Dream Witch, Opera Singer, and the Naiad. So we do still have Kruger's Bloody Queen on the table. We've seen a lot of Bloody Queen out of Kruger. But we need at the very least a draw here. We cannot allow for a 3-man or a 4-man escape. And Kruger has been getting kited pretty hard as Bloody Queen. And with the Cheerleader lock-in, that is not going to be very good. Was that Music Master? Damn. Yeah, the Cheerleader lock-in is not going to be fun. They could definitely lock in an Aeroplanist here as well. And that would be very, very tanky here. Oh, okay, we're going with the Cowboy. That's the second Cowboy today. But with this heavy of a harassment comp, I'm scared. I'm a little scared. That's really not something you want to see, especially if you're going, I mean, really just in any case, but especially they are going to be pushing for that 3-man escape. For that 4-man escape. They are absolutely going to be rallying for that. And Fennel is very, very possible, or very, very capable of doing that. And yeah, Cheerleader can cancel all the cooldowns. That's the thing. And this, I hope this is going to be what I've been talking about for both streams today. Is that Cheerleader can, if Cowboy misses the lasso, Cheerleader can reset it. If Forward uses the ball to, like, bait out the stun and then doesn't, Cheerleader can reset the cooldown. It's very... like, it works. It works. And it can be very, very strong and very, very scary to go against. So I would not be surprised if that's what Fennel is thinking here. And I would not be very excited if I was Kruger. Okay, we're also going to go with a Clown. I don't think... unless I've missed it, I don't actually think we've seen Kruger Clown before. Which is a little bit scary. I feel like in terms of anti-harassment, Wax Artist wouldn't have been a bad choice. But yeah, I mean, I guess, well, we don't have Entomologist to deal with. Cowboy, though, can be annoying for a Clown. Seer as well. Cheerleader is just a pain for anybody, honestly. But yeah, it's... I mean, it's something. That's definite. But, oh, we're picking the same spawn point as well. Okay, I mean, I guess it does lock off the Cheerleader Cypher, but that does also force the Cheerleader closer to the middle where she can support. As well as the Seer being in the area of support. I don't think we're going to go for the Cowboy. I think we are going to try and go for the Seer, maybe. But it's an interesting spawn, to say the least. But it is what it is. If anything, Kruger should be able to get a draw here. But again... the thing is that FL knows that they are in a winning position. So they are going to sweat for... even if they allow... here's the thing. Even if Fennel allows a 3-man elimination here, it wouldn't bring the points any closer together. Because they're 3 points at... Tied Cheerleader. Okay. I mean, I get it. I absolutely get it. You can't chase her, and she's fast as hell, and she doesn't need... oh, nice, we got Oven. Oven is terrifying, which is why I like it. But I get Cheerleader being the only tied, because you want as much containment as possible on the other survivors. Cheerleader has infinite dash, so she doesn't need... she also starts. If you guys are seeing that, she starts with 2 dashes. From the get-go of the match, she can dash. In comparison, let's look at, Priestess or Prospector. Priestess starts with 2 out of 3 portals, which is honestly a little bit much, but, it is what it is. Prospector starts with 1 magnet. None of them start with fully charged skills. But Cheerleader starts with 2 fully charged dashes, it's just, that's weird. Um, yeah, this cheerleader thankfully has borrowed time, but we are once again seeing a lot of rotation here. It does look like we found forward first, which is honestly not the greatest first chase. I suppose it is kind of dash versus dash. And the flywheel. I did, in fact, forget that forward had flywheel, but a beautiful blink. Of course, we are forcing out that blink from Kruger. So a little bit unfortunate there, but we are getting that first hit in, and it is actually going to bring us to max presence because we did bring insolence. So MonoP will be continuing to take this kite here. We do still have quite a bit of a ball left, but no, we're actually going to switch a little bit over to Umpi, or at least enough to bait him off the Cypher. Or are we going to commit to Umpi completely? We're taking kind of a roundabout route here. Kind of looking for fancy clown movements, but I don't... it feels a little bit directionless, I will say. But I don't think this is, like, the maximum speed dash. I think that's just, like, the normal infinite dash, which is also very avoidable by survivors, especially when you're dealing with a forward here, because forward has very fast vault speed. He can kind of just, you know, avoid the dash, because the dash is kind of relatively slow when it's in this position. But we are going to kind of try and bait out that owl. Of course, we are going to hit the owl, but Seer is still able to get away. There's just a lot of rotation here, a lot of just not being able to get the survivors. And it's really, really unfortunate. Yeah, that is the thing. If you're not able to catch the survivor in middle, small boat, big boat are the worst areas on Lakeside. Like, just no contest. It's really, Lakeside is just not good for any hunter, and it's deceptively not good for any hunter, because it's like, oh, there's so many open areas, but as soon as it used to be one of my favorite maps for Lizard. The thing is, as soon as you get survivors that know how, like, basic kiting routes, immediately it's like every open area is about half an inch away from the worst kiting area imaginable. It's just no fun at all. But we are going to get a pretty fast down there on MonoP once again. Cheerleader was able to come in for the rescue, did take a hit in on the way there, but we are able to get exhaust the tide right away, so it could definitely be in a worse position. But of course, MonoP is just going to die as far away as possible from everything else that's happening. We do have 2 ciphers remaining here. And they are pretty far along. Once again, you know, there is obviously the issue of getting back to that 67% cipher, but I think that they are not too shabby about that. We do have Cowboy coming in for this rescue. Cowboy does have flywheel, so won't be too worried about this dash, but it looks like we might be changing targets entirely over to that final cipher here, where Kit is decoding. That is the cheerleader though, so we definitely have a lot of containment potential. She does have her dash, but oh, that is going to be a terror shock. Oh, was that a terror shock on the pallet? I believe that was a terror shock on the pallet. Very well done there by Kruger. Of course, MonoP was able to be rescued there, but we are pressuring that final cipher. If we had trump card, this would be a really good time to switch to abnormal, but they have already started another cipher, is the problem. This would also be another scenario where Bloody Queen would be really useful, because we have seen very successfully, see Yukakina match, Bloody Queen, wide camping ciphers. But yeah, we are just going to force that rescue out immediately. And Cheerleader running fast, but not quite fast enough to catch up to that dash. Very well done there by Kruger. And this is going to be Cheerleader's second chair, but Cowboy is in the area. Are we going to be able to get that rescue? No, perfectly timed drop. And with the Cheerleader being the one who is rescued, we aren't going to see that cooldown reduction come into play. That's a little bit unfortunate there. I would have liked to see that. Well, unfortunate for FL, but fortunate for Kruger and for FAV Gaming that the Cheerleader was not able to reset the cooldown. But, excuse me. Yeah, that cipher is very nearly primed. Oh, but a misjudged flywheel. That is very, very unfortunate there. Unfortunately, just not quite flywheeling at the right time to eat the hit, instead taking the hit. Instead taking the hit. But the cipher is going to be primed here. Unp is very much in the area. I think trying to grab another owl. It doesn't look like we've gotten there yet, but we're really just trying to avoid getting terror shocked. that is going to be the case, and we can just go ahead and pop the cipher immediately. So that will be entering our endgame. 4-man endgame here is not something that Kruger wants to deal with. And it looks like Kruger getting a little bit turned around here. But we may have spotted out Kit. We may have spotted out Mono P, but it actually doesn't look like we've been able to find the trail of anyone. Kruger just heading directionless towards this gate. We have found Mono P, but Kruger heading directly into... Oh! Missing that pallet. How was that not a pallet stun? That absolutely looked like it should have been a pallet stun, but missing that blink so close. Mono P. Oh, and a beautiful owl coming through from Unpi. Mono P is going to be able to kite just a little bit longer. The dungeon is here, but I don't think everyone is at the gate. It looks like we might be trying to lasso out the gate here, but the last 3 are exiting the gate. Mono P has about 80 seconds left on, I think that's 80 seconds left on Flywheel, so we're not going to really be able to use that, but this really is just a standoff here. With that 3-man escape, though, FAV Gaming has lost, unfortunately, and FL will be taking the victory and heading into the I think the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. I know I named the streams, like, IJL finals, but it's just finals weekend. So this is technically quarterfinals. Anyway, yeah, so that is going to be our second semifinalist here in Fennel. Once we stop waiting this out. Detention's almost out. Not that that matters, because Mono P is injured anyway. And is going to get... Oh, but I feel like a basic hit would have been better there. That is a little bit unfortunate, but Fennel is going to take the victory with a 4-man escape against FAV Gaming. Yeah, that is a little... That's just unfortunate there. But yeah, very, very well played on both sides there. And I would say just kudos to Chicken for almost bringing it back around. Almost bringing it back around for Fennel. Or for FAV Gaming. They need to stop putting the teams with the same letter names together. But yeah, that is going to be it for day 1 of the IJL Finals weekend. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. I will probably be streaming it again tomorrow, provided whether or not I get busy. I don't know if I'm gonna do the full days at once, because it is a lot, but I would like to do the full days at once. It is just, it's a lot of streaming. I have talked for about probably 4 hours straight today. Yeah, which is a lot of talking. But I will let you guys know how things are panning out over the weekend. I would also appreciate input on whether I should stream on Christmas, because I'm doing nothing. I don't celebrate Christmas. I know other people do though, so I don't know if people would come, but thank you for the follow, Vinsoup. I really hope that you enjoyed the stream today. And oh hey, that is my follower goal met, 60 out of 60 followers. So thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for following me. You can also find me on Twitter at Lethal Crash. I think that's linked on my Twitch profile somewhere. I do have commissions open if you're interested, but yeah, I'll probably stream I might do a later stream Christmas Eve, because I am working midday, but I'll try to fit some in there. Probably try to fit some in tomorrow if I don't get too busy. But we'll see. I'm gonna try and get all of the matches through. Can I have some of whatever you're baking? I'm gonna try and get through all of the matches, because IVL is also next weekend. I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep up with that as much. I'll have to check my schedule and whatnot, but I have significantly more plans for New Year's than I have for Christmas, so probably won't be able to I'm so sorry, Ada. I am signing off. And just taking a while to do so. But no, it's okay. I am going to upload the stream to YouTube. I did upload the earlier stream to YouTube as well. I think that's probably up. Actually, I'm not going to check that yet, but I think that's probably up. The stream from earlier. So if you missed that and you want to go back and check it out, my YouTube is 206 Bones. I don't know. You can probably find it through that. I don't think there's underscores on that one. Anyway, yeah. I have talked more than enough. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. Please bear with me as I kind of get a schedule together for this weekend. It's really just, whatever I feel like. But yeah, good luck on your rank matches. Rank is more than open now, depending on your tier. And I will see you guys later.